Hey guys, Amy here with Leap of Faith Crafting. Thanks so much for stopping by. So today we are going to be talking about the new fun tool in my craft room here, the WeCreat Vista laser engraver. So I just got this last week and I've been having lots of fun with it. I've been engraving full wrap Stanleys, something it's been on my list for a couple months. I've just been really nervous about ruining Stanleys, as I'm sure most of you are. I wanted to show you a video of kind of comparing the Vision and the Vista when it came to engraving Stanleys and just kind of showing you the Vista for the first time. The Vista is another machine from WeCreat, like my WeCreat Vision, that has that automatic lift. You can see with this one that obviously this one's much taller because it auto focuses and it lifts up and down. But with this machine, you can see how much smaller that is. Width, depth, things like that about the same, but the height definitely smaller because it actually doesn't go up and down. So this laser actually has a laser that actually flips. So this is a 10 watt, but this actually, the laser flips forward, and I will show you that when we do the laser. So that's how it can engrave the tumblers up to 40 ounces. That it will actually spin and the laser will engrave it from the front and it spins. So it's pretty cool that it can do that and it doesn't have to auto raise and kind of go up and down. And then you have the same, we have the grates inside that we can cut wood and things like that. I'll have some more videos on making some more fun things like that. But along with this machine, I was actually also sent the new Rotary Pro. So if you've seen some of my old videos on the WeCreat Vision on engraving a tumbler, I had problems with the tumbler falling off, as of you might have. If you've seen some of my videos, and I kind of jimmied a thing onto this one to hold the tumblers better. So WeCreat was listening to everyone and we knew we weren't happy about it. So they came out with this new Pro that the chuck on it has these grips on it. So you can actually now put and I'll show this obviously a little better when we're doing the tumbler, but you put it inside and those chucks actually hold it in there and it holds it inside. So you can get rid of that non-working area and go all the way up to the top. So that is super cool. And this holds it nice and tight. And I didn't have any problems. I did 3 tumblers of the 40-ounce Stanleys and didn't have any problems with anything falling off, anything moving. They all came out perfectly. Obviously I took the handles off of them just with an Allen wrench when I did that. But this is available now. Also, the software update, and I will show you in the software where you need to change the settings to get rid of that non-working area. If you want to do the full wrap tumbler and put things up on the top. That update is supposed to be coming out this Wednesday. So I'm filming this Thanksgiving week. So if you're watching this right when I release it, it's supposed to be coming out Wednesday. That's what they told me. Then if you purchased a new machine within the last month or so, I will link this video below. WeCreat just did a live that was on YouTube a few days ago about if you just purchased a new one, they can send you a new one. And then if you've had one for a while and want to upgrade, you don't have to get the whole thing. You actually just need to get the chuck part that comes off. I will link all these things below, obviously, but you can contact WeCreat and watch that video and see how you need to do if you already have one. So we are going to be using that and the new Vista. So again, as I was just kind of wanting to show you in case you were deciding between the two, as I said, this one, actually a lot of these blue light lasers are more for the hobbyist. I know a lot of people will get one and start a side hustle or a business or something like that, which is great. But really, if you have that, you should have more than one, because there's so many people that are like, I'm in the middle of a fair or the busy season and something gave out on one of my machines and I'm without one while it gets fixed for a couple months or a couple weeks or however long it takes. So these things really aren't meant to be like power horses that are working all day. You know, those super expensive ones that are, you know, more than $5,000–6,000. Those CO2 lasers, those are ones that are more meant for those kind of businesses, but I know a lot of us use these more inexpensive, budget friendly ones. But just an FYI on that, if you're wanting to start a business or anything like that, I would recommend, getting the second one once your budget allows for that. So this one is going to be the most budget friendly. I think I've seen them around, depending on the sales and all things like that, between like around 700, 6 to 800, 6 to 900, somewhere in there. For this one, these ones are more expensive because they are a 20 watt, so they are a lot stronger. And those ones, I think, range in like the 1200, maybe 1000 to 1200 range. So this one is definitely more budget friendly, and you can also get an infrared laser head with this one. So I haven't used it yet. That's going to be another video, but you can get this optional 2 watt infrared laser to more use it for like engraving jewelry and things like that. I will have another video on using that in there, but we are going to be doing a tumbler using the new Rotary Pro to engrave the Stanleys. But with any of these machines also, you want to make sure that you're following all the safety cautions that they have on there. You never want to leave one running by itself. The one thing about with these Stanley tumblers with this machine, they took about 2.5 hours to do. So obviously it's a big, and mine were very detailed, but I can't leave the machine. So I have to make sure I'm home, make sure I'm in my studio, craft room, and things like that while that's going on. This machine, I believe, was about 1.5 hours because it's a stronger machine. So I still need to mess with the settings. I probably could go a little faster on this one, but I didn't want to mess the Stanleys up. So also want to make sure you have a well ventilated area. It comes with a duct. You want to make sure that is going out a window, or if you have like one of the air purifiers, things like that, set up with it, because they obviously, you can smell it and it can cause headaches and irritation and things like that. People that have asthma, things like that. I have an N95 mask that I wear when it's running in here. Even though I have it ventilated outside, I can still smell it. I still need to set up a better ventilation for me, and since now it's getting cold and getting rainy and it gets cold in here, I need to get a piece of wood or something like that to put in my window. So working on that too. Does have a lot of the same as the Vision does. The top of it is filtered so it will not hurt the eye if you're looking at the blue light laser going through this. So, and it has a lot of fire starts or anything happens and start inside, will automatically stop and start beeping at you and things like that. So it has a lot of great safety measures already in it, but again, you don't want to leave it alone, and you need to filtrate it and make sure you read all of those things when you get the machine. The machine has the setup was super simple. They have a great video, so I wasn't going to go through it. It even has a step-by-step directions and the instruction manual when you get it, but there's also a video that it links to from WeCreat. It was pretty quick and it was great. Very straightforward to follow the video to set things up, but it didn't take that long. The air assist already comes inside of it, so not much setting up there. It's just kind of unpacking it and setting up the software and things like that. So really kind of out of the box, doesn't take long. I'm happy with the machine. I love my WeCreat Vision. This is my kind of go-to now, so I was super excited to be able to try the Vista alongside it, and this one comes in a pretty blue. I love the blue. I'm having lots of fun with it. So let's get into it. We're gonna jump into the WeCreat Make It software, show you how to change it to the non-working area so we can do a full wrap, and then also how to set up the Rotary Pro and start engraving the tumbler. So if you haven't yet, make sure you hit the like and the subscribe button below so you don't miss any tutorials, and let's start crafting. Okay, so here I have set everything up on my new Vista. I have the 10 watt, as you can see. So this is the normal way it would be to do anything with wood, and I just did the test calibration on here. I actually had a problem that the camera wouldn't load on my computer and realized I had to update the software. So once I did that, everything worked. So I want to add the rotary. So I'm going to turn this off and pull this forward. And here is the brand new Rotary Pro. So this is one that just got released this week. We're in the middle of November. There's a separate one for Vista and the Vision. First, before I do that, I'm actually going to remove the grates. Okay, I'm going to take out the grates, and then we are going to move this up and remove, there's two. There is a screw here and another one over here. And I'm just going to unscrew those. Okay. And then here we are going to line up with the hole that's sticking out. And then this lines up right there. And then we're going to put the screws back in. So all this is similar to the Vision. Then I'm going to plug this in here, and all of this is while the machine is off. Okay. So for the laser head, we're gonna unscrew these so they're loose. Okay, and then it flips forward, and then I'm just going to turn them back, and so they tighten. Okay, so now the laser is facing forward, so it's going to be able to engrave anything in here. And you can do that before you put the chuck in if you want. So now that we have the rotary in there. Okay, so I have a Stanley here. I've just used an Allen wrench to take off the handle, and then we are going to just use some pliers to fold these down, and this is so the laser head does not hit them. And then we're going to stick on it, and the chuck actually has this wheel that makes it go out and in. So if I turn it away from me, it tightens. And then we have our stand that is going to hold it up on the bottom there. And with my level, I'm going to do like we do in the Vision. And raise this up just a little bit. So that the bubbles about halfway in there. Okay, and kind of get it leveled there. And then I'm going to put it so I can see the Stanley side of it. And we're going to come over. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and hit refresh now that my machine is on. And you can see that that is up there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and import an image here. And I will link this below. And this one's nice because this one actually already has the logo on it. So we can go ahead and line this up easily. And this is a bunch of Disney characters' signatures that I'm doing. So on the Stanley, and that's just so we can line it up, I'm just going to hit ignore here for processing because I don't want it to actually do that. And then I'm going to click on the path over here, just on the black one. So it selects all of it because a lot of these don't come in as one path. And so in order for the laser not to jump all over the place, we're going to go ahead and hit merge graphics. And this actually might take a minute or so to actually do because there's a lot of them. Okay, so I have this here, and we are going to, actually maybe we'll just change the color down here so we can see it a little bit better. The new update that they should be releasing any time. It's 2.07, so you have to update your software. With the Pro now, you can come in and go into settings, and right down here, there's a non-working area of Rotary, and usually it's set to on, and that's when we see this area, and it won't engrave anything up here, and that's because the other Rotaries, since it had the chuck arms that came out, it was protecting the laser head. But now with the Rotary Pro, we can come in and actually turn that off. So I'm going to turn that off, confirm it, and you'll see that that's gone. So now I can place my images all the way up there. So I have mine in here. Again, I have the Stanley part on ignore. Let's see, do I have the rest of it? We'll check that in a minute. So I've grouped this together. No, I haven't. So on here, that is all selected. So I'm just going to group these together, and I'm going to move it so that the Stanley is kind of in the same part. You just up a little bit. So I'm going to change my settings to millimeters here too. And I'm going to change over here my diameter to 100. Okay, and then 317, we're going to leave that right there. Okay, and we can see that it's hard with the wrap, with the top and the bottom, because it looks like it's going to go over, but obviously that's turning. So as long as I have that Stanley pretty close there. Okay, and that line pretty close to the bottom. Okay, so I have everything like that. I am going to change my power. We're gonna do about 96, we'll leave it there. I'm gonna bump this up to 125, and then actually change my line density to 150. Okay, so we are gonna hope that this works. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and check my 3D. So over here is my 3D preview, and I can rotate this around. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit start, and I'm gonna hit continue. Okay, and it says 2 hours and 50 minutes. Wondering if we can bump up the speed just a little bit. I think that's because of the lines. Where's my speed? Okay, let's bump this up to 100. Speed of 150. Line density of 150. We're gonna go, still 2.5 hours. This one takes a lot longer than the Vision, because the Vision is the 20 watt and this is a 10 watt. I'm gonna go ahead and hit send. We're gonna lower down our lid and push that button. Okay, so there it is going. Just have to make sure you flatten the handles a lot for the head not to hit it. Okay, so it finally says the processing is complete. We're going to hit complete on there. And yes, it did take about 2.5 hours. So a long time. Okay, we're going to open that up. Loosen the chuck. And this is going to have a lot of dust on it, so I'm going to take it over. You can see how that went around. So the one thing I will caution you about using the Vista is that when I first started doing it, I actually had to stop it because this wasn't bent over enough and it kept kind of bumping it, and I just heard it. It wasn't moving or nothing, but I could hear it, so I actually had to stop it and push those down. So if you're trying to go underneath and have the laser go over these, just make sure they're really pushed down well. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead over to my sink and use my LA Awesome and Magic Eraser and clean this off. Okay, so there it is, all washed up. Look how amazing that is. It is beautiful. It did such an amazing job. And I feel like with just that angling up a little bit, that it made everything very much the same. The one that I did on my Vision, I feel like it's kind of an ombre effect here. Because this one, I maybe just didn't have it elevated enough at the bottom, but I feel like it didn't. It either burned the top a little bit more so it looks darker, and then down here it looks a little bit lighter, but not that that's a big deal, but only if I'm being super nitpicky on it. So again, this one I did with my Vision. This one is with the new Vista with that brand new Rotary Pro, which is amazing. I didn't have any problems with it falling off or moving or anything at all. It works great. Okay, so I'm just going to put my handle back on. And I haven't tried yet. See, one of my other videos, I showed you how to make all of these toppers with my Vision, cutting these all out of acrylic. So again, I will link that one below too if you want to check that out. I haven't tried acrylic with the new Vista, but I will try and let you know how that goes. So anyway, the Vista is definitely a great, more budget friendly. You know, it's quite a bit cheaper. You don't need as much room, and you can do these full wrap tumblers with it with that new Pro. And we will be making a few more, but I wanted to get out at least one video kind of comparing the full wrap Stanley since I was doing these for my friends. So anyway, make sure you hit that subscribe and like button below so you don't miss any more video tutorials coming out, and happy crafting, everyone.